here is your speech titled, "My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most silent yet powerful obstacles to true success, something that many people overlook, is the lack of sincere intentions. You see, from the outside, a person may appear successful. They may have the followers, the money, the applause, the image, but success is not defined by what's seen by others. It is defined by what is seen by the one who knows what is hidden in the hearts. What is the purpose behind your ambition? Why do you do what you do? Is it for the camera or for the creator? Is it to be praised or to truly make a difference? The heart is like soil. If the intention is pure, the seed you plant will grow into something that benefits, that lasts, that gives shade and fruit long after you're gone. But if the intention is corrupt, rooted in ego, pride, or showing off, then even if it grows, the fruit will be bitter, and the plant will not last. It may even become a burden. You may climb high with the wrong intention, but you will feel empty when you get there. The soul was not created to be satisfied by vanity. It was created to be nourished by purpose and sincerity. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, why am I pursuing this? What is my goal? Whom am I trying to please? Because if your heart is aligned with pleasing the Almighty, even if the world doesn't see your effort, it is counted. Even if the results are delayed, the blessings are written. Even if the people forget you, the heavens do not. And when intentions are pure, something amazing happens. You begin to feel a sense of peace in your journey. You're no longer obsessed with the outcome or who's noticing your work. You're content because you know the one who matters is fully aware. That kind of contentment, it's rare and it's priceless. But the problem today is that we live in a world where intentions are constantly under attack. Social media rewards visibility, not sincerity. People will ask you, how many likes did it get? But they won't ask you, why did you do it? There is constant pressure to impress rather than to impact, and so we begin to perform instead of serve. We begin to compete instead of contribute. We forget that real success is not in being known by the world. It is in being known by the one who created the world. That's why the people with the purest intentions are often the ones with the most barakah in their lives, even if their means seem small. Their time is blessed, their work bears fruit, and their hearts remain soft and humble. Because when you do things sincerely for the sake of the Almighty, He places light in your actions, He amplifies their effect, and He grants you peace. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most deceiving traps in the journey towards success is procrastination. That silent whisper that says you'll do it later, and then later becomes next week, and next week becomes never. Slowly, without realizing it, your dreams begin to die, not because you were incapable, but because you kept delaying. Procrastination doesn't shout, it doesn't come with alarms, it comes gently, it comforts you with lies. It says, you're just tired right now. It tells you you have time. It convinces you that the work can wait. But what it really does is steal your future. Every great achievement begins with a single step. But how many steps have been missed because someone said, not today? How many prayers, how many goals, how many changes were pushed to tomorrow? And tomorrow never came. Sometimes people tell themselves they are waiting for the right time. But let me remind you, there is no perfect time. If you wait for all the doors to open, all the paths to be clear, and all the lights to be green, you will wait your entire life standing still. The truth is, many people are not lazy. They are just afraid to begin, afraid to commit, afraid they might fail, and so they disguise that fear with excuses. I'm too busy. It's not the right season. I'm not ready yet. But when will you be ready? How do you expect to grow if you don't begin? If you always wait to be fully prepared, you'll never move, because preparation grows as you walk. Wisdom comes as you try. Strength builds as you struggle. Even in your spiritual life, procrastination is dangerous. You may say, one day I will start praying properly, or I will fix my character later after I've settled in life. But none of us are promised tomorrow. The heart that beats right now may not beat tonight. And yet we keep living as if we are guaranteed 80 years. We plan for retirement, but we don't plan for the grave, and I want to remind you gently, delaying something good is not always neutral. Sometimes delaying an act of goodness means losing the reward entirely. That opportunity you had to help someone today might not come back. That idea you had to start a project, write something beneficial, make a change, once missed, may never return in the same way. Time is not something we control. It slips through our hands like sand. Every moment you delay, that sand falls, grain by grain, never to return, and yet, Satan loves when you delay, because he doesn't need you to deny the truth. He just needs you to say later. That's enough. That's all he wants. You see, my brothers and sisters, excuses can sound very intelligent. They can sound logical. But deep down, many of us know the truth. We're not waiting. We're avoiding. We say, I can't start because I'm too tired. But somehow we find energy for distractions. We say, I don't have time. But our time is filled with things that bring us no benefit. We have to be honest with ourselves. Because no one else will fight this battle for you. No one else can build your life for you. If you keep waiting for motivation to strike, you'll wait forever. But if you take one small step today, despite the fear, despite the fatigue, that small step could lead to transformation. Success isn't just about talent. It's not just about opportunity. It's about consistency. It's about showing up even when it's hard, even when no one sees you, even when you're tired. And the beauty is, when you take one step toward your goal, one step toward improvement, one step toward your Creator, He comes running toward you. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most powerful chains holding people back from fulfilling their potential is fear. Not fear of effort, not fear of sacrifice, but the fear of failure and rejection. There are so many hearts out there filled with dreams, filled with ideas, filled with good intentions, but frozen in place, not because they don't know the path, but because they're afraid of what might happen if they try and it doesn't work out. What if I fail? What will people say? What if they laugh at me? What if I'm not good enough? And so, people remain silent, talents are buried, beautiful intentions are locked away, and generations are robbed of the good that could have come from them, all because someone was afraid of falling. But my brothers and sisters, listen carefully. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. It is the price you pay for growth. No one who has achieved anything meaningful in this world did so without stumbling. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one group never failed, it's that one group refused to stop after failing. The fear of rejection often runs even deeper. Many people tie their sense of worth to how others see them. They think, if people don't approve of me, I have no value. If I'm not accepted, I must not be good enough. But remember, you were not created to please people. You were created to live with purpose, to stand in truth, and to seek the pleasure of the one who already knows your worth. People's opinions change with the wind. Today they love you, tomorrow they ignore you. One moment you are praised, and the next moment you are criticized for the same thing. If you make yourself worth depend on that, you will never feel secure. Sometimes we fear being judged so much that we don't even start. We hide our talents, we silence our ideas, we walk away from opportunities because the voice in our mind whispers, what if they don't accept you? What if they laugh? What if they criticize? But ask yourself, who are they? And even if they do laugh, what then? Will your life end? Will the earth stop spinning? Will your Lord love you less? Of course not. What matters is that you tried, that you stood up when others sat down, that you fought for your growth even when fear told you to stay small. Even in your spiritual journey, this fear appears. Some people are ready to change, ready to start praying, ready to wear the hijab, ready to leave something haram, but then the fear whispers, what will they think? What if I can't keep it up? What if I'm not strong enough? So they delay their growth, not because they don't want it, but because they fear the fall. But remember, my dear brother, my dear sister, the one who created you knows you will fall sometimes. What he wants from you is not perfection. What he wants is your effort, your sincerity, your courage to rise again and again. Every time you allow fear of failure to control you, you hand over your future to doubt. You give fear the steering wheel of your life, and fear has only one destination, regret. How many people, when they reach the end of their lives, look back and say, I wish I had tried? Not I wish I had never failed. but I wish I hadn't let fear stop me from even trying. The only true failure is not trying at all, because trying, even if you don't reach the goal, still brings you closer. It still teaches you, it still humbles you, and it earns you reward if done with the right intention, but giving up before starting, that brings nothing but emptiness. And let's not forget, the greatest people in history, the most successful, the most righteous, were all rejected at some point. They were mocked, they were insulted, they were laughed at. But they kept going not because people believed in them, but because they believed in their purpose and in the help of their Lord. So don't fear rejection from the creation when you are seeking the approval of the Creator. Don't fear failure when your effort is for something greater than yourself. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is a powerful balance that many people overlook in their pursuit of success. A balance between effort and prayer, between striving with your hands and surrendering with your heart. Between doing what is within your control and trusting the one who controls everything. This balance is not just important, it is essential, because success in this life, and even more so in the next, requires both action and supplication. One without the other leaves you lopsided, constantly frustrated, and often spiritually disconnected. There are those who work and work and work, pushing themselves to the limit, calculating every step, staying up night after night. Yet they never pause to raise their hands and ask the one who gives success. They rely entirely on their effort, their intelligence, their strategy, and when things don't work out, they feel defeated, lost, confused. They say, "I did everything right. Why didn't it work?" But did you seek the help of the one who never fails? Did you begin with his name? Did you ask him to bless your efforts and guide your path? Effort without connection to the Almighty becomes dry. You may reach something, but you may not find barakah in it. You may succeed in appearance, but feel emptiness inside, because you relied on your limbs, but you ignored your soul. And on the other hand, there are those who make beautiful dua, who cry in prayer, who raise their hands often, but they refuse to take any steps. They say, if Allah wills, it will happen, yet they make no real effort. They wait for opportunities without preparing. They wait for ease without moving forward. They wait for change without changing themselves. But Allah, in His wisdom, teaches us to tie the camel before placing our trust in Him. You take the action first, and then you say, Tawakkaltu ala Allah. You plant the seed, and then you ask Allah to make it grow. You walk to the door, and then you ask Him to open it. You don't just sit in your home and wait for things to fall from the sky. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us this principle with clarity. In the most difficult moments, whether in battles, in dawah, or in hardship, he would plan with intelligence, act with full effort, and pray with complete humility. This is the formula for true success. You exhaust the means, and then you place your full trust in Allah's outcome. But today, many of us neglect this balance. Some lean too far into self-reliance, becoming anxious and burnt out because they carry the whole burden alone. Others lean too far into passive spirituality, thinking dua alone is enough without lifting a finger. And both are traps. One is the trap of arrogance, the other is the trap of laziness. When you combine both sincere action and sincere supplication, you unlock a door of strength and serenity. You start to realize that even if things don't go your way, your effort is still written, your prayers are still heard, and your journey still has meaning. Because when you walk towards something seeking the pleasure of your Lord, and you strive with all you have, and you beg Him for guidance and success, you cannot lose, no matter what the world says. And sometimes when the result doesn't match your expectation, it's because your Lord is protecting you from something you didn't see, or delaying something for your growth, or redirecting you to something better. But how would you know that if you never turn to Him? How would you feel peace in your heart if you only rely on yourself and never connect to the one who created your journey in the first place? There's a hidden arrogance in thinking you can achieve success alone. And there's a hidden weakness in thinking you can just pray without acting. Real strength lies in knowing you are nothing without His help, and yet still doing everything you can to deserve it. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most underestimated yet deeply destructive obstacles to success is the company you keep. Many people strive, they plan, they pray, they dream, yet they don't move forward. They don't realize that what's silently dragging them down isn't always laziness, lack of skill, or poor timing. It's the people around them. You see, the heart is influenced by what it's surrounded by. Just like a sponge absorbs water, your mind, your habits, your values, they absorb the energy, the speech, the mindset of those you allow close to you. If you're constantly surrounded by people who mock your ambition, dismiss your values, or belittle your efforts, how can you expect to rise? If your closest friends are those who pull you toward gossip, toward sin, toward wasting time, toward forgetting your goals, how can you expect your life to be blessed? It's often said, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." This isn't just a motivational quote. It's a reality rooted in the teachings of our faith. The Prophet compared good company to a person who sells perfume. Even if you don't buy anything from him, you'll walk away with a beautiful scent. In bad company, like a blacksmith. If you're not burned by the fire, you'll still walk away covered in soot. You might not notice it immediately, but the effects of toxic company are slow and subtle. They plant doubt where there used to be certainty. They encourage procrastination where there used to be action. They make sin look small. They make your dreams look silly. They laugh at your goals, and worst of all, they make you feel guilty for trying to be better. Sometimes the people closest to us are the ones who feed us the most fear. You'll never be able to do that. That's not for people like us. Why are you trying to change? You're fine the way you are. And these words, though they may sound casual, are poison to your growth. And the danger is, you begin to believe them. You internalize their doubts. You begin to shrink your dreams just to make others comfortable. You lower your standards to stay accepted by the crowd. You compromise your values so you're not too different. But let me ask you, my dear brother, my dear sister, what kind of success are you chasing if it comes at the cost of your values, at the cost of your soul? The truth is, not everyone is meant to walk with you through every stage of your journey. Some people were only meant to be part of your past. Keeping them in your present can ruin your future. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or harsh. It means you become intentional. It means you protect your environment the same way you protect your body from disease. If you knew a food was toxic, would you keep eating it just because it tastes familiar? You must learn to recognize who is planting light in your life and who is draining it. Good company uplifts you. They remind you of Allah when you forget. They push you to be better when you become stagnant. They speak truth to you even when it's hard. They celebrate your growth without envy, and they support your efforts, not just when you're winning, but especially when you're struggling. And let us not forget, negative influence isn't only in people, it's in what you consume. The content you watch, the accounts you follow, the conversations you engage in. These things shape your mind, your habits, and even your self-worth. You can't expect to have clarity while you're filling your eyes, ears, and heart with constant noise, comparison, and distraction. You can't expect to be strong in your purpose while you're entertaining voices that mock everything you're trying to build. Your surroundings matter. Your input matters. Who you let near your heart matters. Because those closest to you will either help you grow wings, or they will chain you to the ground, making sure you never fly. My beloved brothers and sisters, in the pursuit of success, one of the greatest enemies we face does not come from the outside world. It comes from within. It's the quiet, creeping condition of the heart that whispers, "You don't have enough. You're still behind. You deserve more. And you deserve it now." This condition is called ingratitude and impatience. We live in a world that constantly tells us to move faster, want more, and never feel satisfied. And because of this, many people are not failing due to a lack of talent or effort or opportunity. They are failing because they lack the inner strength to wait and the wisdom to appreciate what they already have. Let's begin with gratitude. Gratitude is not just about saying Alhamdulillah with the tongue. It is a condition of the heart. It is seeing the blessings you have, even while chasing the ones you don't. It is recognizing that what you have now, your health, your time, your faith, your ability to think and breathe and walk, is a gift that someone else is begging for at this very moment. Yet, how often do we become blind to our blessings? We focus so much on what is missing that we forget what is present. We measure our success not by how far we've come, but by how far others have gone, and this comparison leads to a constant state of frustration. You could be improving slowly, growing steadily, becoming better day by day, but if you're comparing yourself to someone else's highlight reel, you will never feel enough. This lack of gratitude poisons the soul. It turns effort into bitterness. It turns progress into complaint. It makes the heart restless and ungrateful. For even when the person is surrounded by gifts, Allah tells us clearly, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you." Quran 14:7. But if you are constantly complaining, constantly chasing without contentment, constantly focusing on what is delayed rather than what is already given, you are blocking your own blessings. Gratitude brings barakah, it brings clarity, it softens the heart, it allows you to enjoy the journey instead of obsessing over the destination. And then we have patience. So many people fail to succeed simply because they gave up too soon. They planted the seed, but didn't wait long enough for it to grow. They made sincere dua, but lost hope before the answer arrived. They tried something once or twice, but when results didn't come immediately, they assumed the door was closed. But the truth is, every meaningful success requires patience. You don't see the tree growing while it's underground, but it's building roots. You don't see the transformation inside a heart that's trying to change, but it's happening little by little. And you don't always see the wisdom in your delay, but your Lord sees what you don't. Patience is not passive, it is not weakness. It is one of the greatest forms of strength, to keep going when it's hard, to keep praying when you don't see the results, to keep striving when no one is watching. That is real strength. That is the soul's muscle being tested and trained. Some people think that patience means doing nothing. No, patience means doing your part every single day and leaving the results to Allah. It means being content with the process, even if it's slow. It means trusting that every effort, every tear, every sacrifice is being recorded and none of it is lost. But the moment impatience sets in, people begin to sabotage their own growth. They rush decisions, they chase shortcuts, they quit good habits too early. They assume failure where Allah has only written delay. And this is where success begins to slip away, not because the goal was impossible, but because the person stopped climbing before they reached the top. You see, impatience turns the heart bitter. It blinds you to the mercy in the wait. It convinces you that delay means denial, but that's not always true. Sometimes Allah withholds something, not to punish you, but to protect you, or to prepare you, or to purify you before you receive it. So the question isn't just, are you working hard? It's also, are you waiting with faith? Are you trusting the pace Allah has chosen for you? Are you grateful even while the door is still closed? Because gratitude and patience, when combined, make the heart unshakable. They make the soul grounded. They allow you to strive without stress, to wait without complaint, and to trust that what is meant for you will come, not a moment too early and not a moment too late.